Good afternoon. I'm Raine Musñgi. This is Newsfeed. The forced dispersal of Kingdom of Jesus Christ members is underway in Davao City. Police are trying to clear the streets near the KOJC compound, which demonstrators have occupied since this weekend. Authorities say Pastor Apollo Kibuloy's followers can no longer stay in the area. But the KOJC members insist they will only leave the premises if the PNP will also leave. In a press conference earlier, PNP spokesperson Jean Fajardo said some of Kibuloy's followers are allegedly harming themselves to frame the police for excessive use of force. Police have vowed to continue the hunt for Kibuloy, who's wanted for charges of human trafficking and child abuse. Now let's get an update on the dispersal in Davao City from Abante Radio Davao stringer Edith Isidro. Edith, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Jean. Andito po tayo ngayon sa pagkatalagan ng pag-disperse ng mga grupo ng KOGC at pansamantala po mayroong 18 members of KOGC ipasipay for the police ng PNP natin for the investigation at sa ngayon po mayroon pang mga dalawang two boom truck and three fire truck and five sunshine vehicle in front of KOGC at ito po nakaharang sa gitna talaga ng at time of 2:30 na disperse po ang grupo ng KOGC members. Miss Jean?
Edith, Raine here.
Miss Raine, sorry.
Yung 18, nasa presinto na ba sila ng mga polis ngayon? Tapos alam ba natin kung anong susunod na mangyayari? Sino ang KOJC attorney ba ang magre-representante sa kanila?
Yes po, nandito po nga yung lead legal counsel ng KOGC, Attorney Torion, at in-inspection po niya yung 18 na membro ng KOGC at request po niya ng sa RD ng Region 11 na PRO na i-conduct yung physical examination kasi mayroon silang mga pasa.
Correct. So napatotohanan ba na ang mga pasa ay galing sa kanilang grupo at hindi galing sa police, na yun na nga sinasabi nila ay gusto nilang magkunwari na galing sa mga pulis ito?
Kanina po nakita nyo naman po yung ating mga videos na pinadala po at nakita po natin kung paano po nila tatlong beses po sila nagbigay ng babala, ng reminder na kailangan na sila mag-disperse. Kung hindi po, gagawin na po nila ng pulisya ang kanilang paraan kung paano sila gagamitan ng paraan kung anong gamitin nila para lang sila mag-disperse.
So based on your account, Edith, there was no violent dispersal that happened. Is that correct?
Sa part naman po ng sa kapulisan, na ginawa lang nila yung kanilang paraan para sila mag-disperse. Kasi nagmamatigas po ang grupo na mag-alis po sa gitna ng kalsada kasi nakaharang na sila. At ayon sa ating kapulisan, obstruction po ang kaso na kanilang sa pulisya.
Understood. Pero para mamaya...
Obstruction of justice.
Opo. So maximum tolerance was exercised, meaning may inaasahan pa ba tayo mangyayari mamayang gabi o bukas man?
Hope na wala na, ma'am, kasi hinintay na lang po natin na paano nila, kasi nagawa po sila ng stage dito sa harap at yun ang ginagiba ng ating mga kapulisan At yun ang ating mga bomb truck na nakalagay sa gitna, ginagawa ng paraan kung paano ito alis sa gitna ng kalsada po. At balik na po normal ang ating biyahe, no? Ang after nito, balik na po yung biyahe ng mga going north and south, going to airport.
Huling tanong na lamang, Edith, no? Ibig ba sabihin nito na tutupad ang mga police dun sa demands ng mga protesters na sila rin ay aalis dyan sa area na yan habang dapat ay nagbabantay sila para dun sa kinaroroonan ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy? Or mananatili dyan ang police dyan sa area na yan?
Pag andito pa, hindi pa alis yung mga grupo kasi nasa gitna, nasa gilid lang sila eh. Yung ating mga members, ay yung mga members ng KOGC, nasa gilid lang sila. Unless wala na talagang alis yata itong mga police. Pero yung hinahanapan natin na makausap si PRO 11 na generatory, para makuha natin kung ano yung mangyari after nito kasi patuloy ba nila yung paghahanap after sa dispersal.
Alright, maraming salamat Edith Isidro, Abante, Radyo, Davao Stringer. Patuloy naming babantayan ang mga pangyayari dyan sa Davao City. KOJC lead counsel Israelito Torreon meanwhile apologizes to journalists covering the Davao standoff who were reportedly harassed by Quibolo's followers. Torreon also asked for the media's understanding on not allowing them inside the compound as the KOJC cannot guarantee their safety.
In behalf of KOJC, what may have been said by some of the members of KOJC, I hope you would forgive them. That must have been the result of too much emotions, and they have been fed up with what is happening. Imagine their own private property, they could not even use the same freely, and it has been turned into a garrison. I hope you feel that they do not enjoy this.
The much-awaited rate cut from the U.S. Federal Reserve seen to further boost the Philippine Stock Exchange. Analysts are pricing in a 25 basis point cut in September after Fed Chairman Jerome Powell signaled the U.S. Central Bank is ready to start easing monetary policy. For Manny Ocampo of the Investment and Capital Corporation of the Philippines, such a move could lift the local bourse to the 7,500 level. That's higher than the ICCP's initial 7,200 forecast. Ocampo also believes inflation in the Philippines has peaked, giving more room for the Philippine Central Bank to further slash interest rates.
You'll probably see fund managers that have been equities off over the last year and a half or 2 years now, start to take a look at the equity markets. And, you know, these are guys that don't want to be left out on a upswing. Will they come in aggressively? Maybe not yet, but they will start picking up, and you probably will start seeing value turnover picking up over the next several weeks. No?
Trading will resume at the PSE Tuesday following the long weekend. The local bourse will kick off at 69.61. Ignoring your boss outside of work hours just became legal in Australia. That's all thanks to the right to disconnect law taking effect today. Under the measure, Australian workers are given a free pass to shun work calls and emails once they step out of the office. The law is meant to restore boundaries that were blurred during the COVID-19 pandemic when the work-from-home setup became the norm. To be clear, the new law will not stop bosses from badgering you, but Australian workers are free to leave them on read. Talk about work-life balance. Back here at home, the Transportation Department eyes separate privatization plans for two of the country's main railways, MRT3 and LRT2. The DOTR says the initial plan to merge their privatization may no longer be feasible due to differing market conditions and the need to expand and rehabilitate LRT2. The International Finance Corporation is assessing the LRT2 privatization, while the Asian Development Bank is in charge of MRT3. At least 2 oil firms have announced a rollback in pump prices. PTT and Petron are cutting gasoline prices by 1 peso and 15 centavos per liter, diesel by 1.90. Petron is also slashing kerosene prices by 1 peso and 85 centavos per liter. Other oil companies are expected to follow suit. The Health Department reports 2 new mpox cases, both in Metro Manila. Health officials say the male patients contracted the virus through close and intimate contact and have been infected with a milder case of the 2 variants. They are the 11th and 12th cases since July 2022, and 2nd and 3rd since the WHO declared this year a more lethal mpox variant a public health emergency of international concern. The DOH is coordinating with local government authorities where the new cases have been detected. The country may file another diplomatic protest against China over its latest aggression in the West Philippine Sea this weekend. Francis Falve joins us on the line for the details. Francis, go ahead.
Raine, this video from the Philippine Coast Guard documented how a Chinese vessel rammed Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources vessel Datu Sunday on Saturday. The newly documented harassment along Escoda Shoal damaged the communication equipment of the Philippine vessel. PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, said that no one was injured in the incident, and the vessel is still seaworthy and is expected to dock in Bataan later this afternoon. Despite the recent bullying at sea, Tariela said that the crew of the ship are in high spirit and with high morale. They are still willing to carry out humanitarian missions in the West Philippine Sea in the days ahead. Aside from the ramming and the water cannon incident last weekend, there was also a report that Chinese forces fired flares at one of our aircraft patrolling in the area. He also stressed the importance of filing diplomatic protests against the Chinese Coast Guard aggression in our territorial waters.
To the National Task Force West Philippine Sea. And considering that the Department of Justice and the Department of Foreign Affairs are part of the National Task Force, it's for them to decide whether a diplomatic protest would warrant such incident. Diplomatic protest is important. It is necessary for us to tell the world, the international community, that we are going against and protesting itong mga illegal actions in China. If we're not going to do this, it will just mean one thing, that we are allowing such unlawful and barbaric activities of China to proliferate.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice and the Department of Foreign Affairs have yet to release their statements regarding the new harassment by the Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Raine, back to you.
Thank you so much for that report, Francis Falve. The House of Representatives has taken custody of Cassandra Ong, a cohort of dismissed Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Go. The NBI turned Ong over to the House Monday afternoon. She has been linked to a raided Pogo hub in Porac, Pampanga, and has been cited in contempt by lawmakers for skipping the hearings on the Pogo fiasco. The NBI also handed Alice Go's supposed sister, Sheila, to the Senate. The two were brought home on August 22nd, following their arrest in Jakarta 2 days earlier. As for the wanted mayor, she's still believed to be in Indonesia. Researchers in Scotland are working on a new way to combat cybercrime by developing a national quantum network that they say can be hack-free. Here's that report.
A team of researchers in Scotland is hoping to revolutionise data security by developing a potentially unhackable national quantum network. The Integrated Quantum Networks Hub, or IQN, will be led by a group from Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh. It is one of 5 hubs announced by the UK government as part of a $200 million government investment. The aim of the IQN is to boost cybersecurity by enhancing defences against hacking and connecting future quantum computers. Charlotte Dean, Executive Chair of the UK's Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, says programming on a quantum computer is very different from programming on a classical computer.
There is a property that we can use that allows us to program things in a different way, which means we can do things faster or we can solve different types of problems.
So what can a quantum internet do? Gerald Buller, who will lead the IQN Hub, explains.
Potentially, you can have ultra-secure system. Essentially, it gives a degree of security that is extremely high and potentially unhackable, but it would have to be used in certain ways to do that.
The quantum internet uses principles of quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence to create unbreakable encryption keys.
In other quantum technologies such as sensing and imaging, AI is already being used to take the data and make it process it faster and get more believable results. So AI is already here with quantum technology. It remains to be seen just how big a part it will play in the quantum internet of the future.
The project also aims to tackle cybercrime, projected to cost the world about $9.5 trillion a year by the end of 2024, Authentic ID's State of Identity Fraud report says. Cybersecurity expert Andrew Patel cautions that no system will ever be impervious to the main weak link in the chain, people.
A quantum internet wouldn't prevent other common cyber attacks, such as social engineering, exploits, or malware. The weak link is often people, and people being tricked into doing things that they didn't want to.
The UK hopes these new quantum hubs will pave the way for the country to become a global leader in quantum innovation. The hubs are expected to drive entrepreneurship, workforce development, and regulatory input into the UK's rapidly emerging quantum industry.
The 2024 Paralympic Games torch is now in France. The torch relay began on Saturday in Stoke Mandeville, England, the birthplace of the Paralympics. British athletes then carried the torch through the Channel Tunnel before handing it over to the French competitors in the city of Calais. The flame will make its way to Paris, where it will be used to light the Paralympic cauldron during the opening ceremony on August 28th. And those are the news this hour. I'm Raine Musñgi. Stay tuned to BNC on Free TV Channel 31 and on our website, bnc.ph. Thank you so much for watching.